If you're looking for a chair but you hate those listicles where they don't even test the chairs, you've come to the right place. You see, I have tested over 150 chairs, and every year I put together the ultimate chair buyer's guide, where I tell you the best chairs on the market for every height range at every price point. I've also created a spreadsheet guide, which is linked in the description. If you want to support the channel, please consider using the links either in the spreadsheet or in the description below, as I earn a small commission and that helps keep this channel going. Also, please hype, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to help the algorithm gods push this out. I'm only 895,000 subscribers away from 1 million, so pretty darn close. This video is going to be divided into 3 height sections. The first is for my short kings and queens, the second is for my perfectly average folks, and the third is going to be for the mommy and daddy long legs out there. Within each height section, there are going to be 3 subsections where I break down the chairs based on price. You'll have the budget section from $0 to $400, the mid-tier section from $400 all the way to $1,000, and the baller section, which is $1,000 plus. In the spreadsheet on the bottom left, you're gonna see 3 different tabs. That's gonna break down all the chairs into different height categories. Timestamps will be your friend, as well as the spreadsheet guide. Let's get honest. For my short kings and queens, we need to start with this. Chair companies, like every other company, wants to make the most amount of money possible. And the way they do that is by making chairs for the largest portion of the population. Who is that? That's for average height. So unfortunately, short people, a lot of these chairs aren't gonna fit you super well right out of the box. Thankfully, there is a pretty easy, quick fix, which is to get a footrest. This one here in particular, I like because you can adjust it to different heights and different angles. So look, listen, every click is another height range. And then this here, this top portion, you can have it slope down like that if you like, or you can click it up yourself to get it in a more flat position, or you can even click it up one more and it kind of creates this dangle-like position in case you want to dangle your foot downwards like this. I will link this footrest in the spreadsheet as well as down in the description. I've also noticed that for my short friends, oftentimes because your feet don't touch the ground, you often like to single or double leg tuck inside your chairs. And because of that, I've taken that into consideration in the chair picks for your height range. Kicking off the budget tier list is the Staples Serena. This thing starts at about 150 bucks. Sometimes there are sales that bring it even lower than that. And I know some of you are gonna say, hey, $150, that sounds like a lot for a chair. Well, last year I actually had a chair that was under 100 bucks, but the reason why it's been moved this year is because one, I'm trying to make the list a lot smaller so you get less analysis paralysis, but also because for under 100 bucks, the chair was really not that good. It was maybe gonna last a year if you sit on it regularly, and you had no recourse if anything went wrong with the chair, especially the pad just flattening and you just feeling hard plastic on your bottom, right? The Staples Serena, on the other hand, even though it's 150 bucks, what makes it a standout here is the 5-year warranty from Staples. And based on what I've seen online, people have had really, really good positive experiences with Staples warranty. And so this thing here, it's 150 bucks. I think the cushioning is phenomenal. It feels really good in the butt, in the leg area, in the back area as well. It's really, really cushy. No hard edges anywhere. Perfect for single and double leg tuckers. And while it has pretty basic functionality of up, down, and then locking upright or opening up so you can tilt backwards like this, the armrest can tilt up and away. And the reason why this is great is because for my shorter friends, oftentimes if you're trying to scooch into a desk, the armrest height with the seat height, it doesn't often align. And so you end up having some weird like compromises. But by being able to lift those arms up and away, you're able to use the desk without arms tucking in just fine to have a proper ergonomic position. It's got a 275-pound weight limit, and with a 5-year warranty under 200 bucks, there really is no cushioned chair better under $200. Next up, and the best budget mesh chair, is going to be the Staples Hyken. This thing costs around $140. It's got a 275-pound weight limit, and the Hyken is a really, really legendary chair. Like, people swear by this thing, especially for the price point. And some people compare it to the Staples Dexley, which I personally like, but I think the Hyken is better for my shorter and more narrow friends. If you are finding yourself a little bit heavier set, the Dexley might be a little bit better because there is more space in the chair. But overall, I think the Hyken is a really, really solid mesh chair. The amount of functionality you get for a chair under $200 is really solid. Not the best, but really solid. And the biggest draw for the Staples Hyken and all the Staples, just like I said with the Serena, is that 5-year warranty with a history of good customer service and support. The reason, by the way, why I don't have the Hyken here is because I donated it to a school in need, and so that's why I don't have it personally. That's why I'm just standing here awkwardly like this, so hopefully you guys trust me that I actually had the Hyken. My son had it, and I gave away his chair. Yeah, so screw you, son. No, I'm kidding. We're trying to get him a chair. He's a kid, so we're trying to get him a chair that's more suitable to his size. But yeah, Staples Hyken, really good mesh chair, 275 pounds, under $200, 5-year warranty, really, really solid mesh chair option. Next up is the Kalami Atlas. This thing is about $280. They have increased the prices. I think it's warranted, but I don't want to say that out loud. And it supports up to 300 pounds. The reason why I say I think a price increase is warranted, is because the amount of adjustments and features on this chair are ridiculous. You don't see this much adjustment on a chair until you hit that like $500-600 price point. So it really is phenomenal. Every single thing on this chair is adjustable. The seat pan, the lumbar support, the armrest, super adjustable. Just keep in mind that the lumbar support is very aggressive on this thing to the point where people have just ripped this plastic pad out or taken their own little foam pad and placed it in there to offer a little bit of relief because, yeah, it's plastic and it is very aggressive. But overall, I mean, this thing is really great. Another common complaint that I see about this chair is that people think that the seat cushion is firm. It's really not. I think it's like a medium firmness because it's just because people don't know what a firm seat pan feels like. Trust me, there are some real bricks out there. This here is like a medium firmness. And what's nice is, again, super adjustable, right? You can actually bring the seat pan out and get it super duper deep so that you can go ahead and single or double leg tuck while you're on this thing. Just make sure you click it in because I forgot to do that like a dummy. And I said it was a con in my review of it, which I was totally wrong about. But yeah, so it's got a nice deep, a nice wide seat pan for single double leg tuckers. Overall, really phenomenal chair, under $300. Next up is the Branch ergonomic chair. This thing costs $360. It's got a 275-pound weight limit, and compared to the Kalami Atlas, it does have a softer seat cushion here. I think people are gonna find it a little bit more comfortable compared to the Kalami Atlas. Also, the backrest here, it's a mesh backrest, but it's got like this cushion layer on it, so it's gonna feel a little bit more comfortable compared to the Kalami Atlas. And I think because of that, that's why it's on this list. Overall, I think this chair does feel more comfortable compared to the Kalami Atlas, but I think the Kalami Atlas is a slightly better chair. I think it's a little bit better built, a little bit easier to adjust. Like the arms on this thing are a little bit tricky. You have to get under here and pull these out. And also, if you're gonna be single or double leg tucking on this chair, I imagine you kind of want like a slightly softer seat cushion to do that on. And I think the Branch ergonomic is probably the better one for like single or double leg tucking. But I think the reason why it's on this list and why it made it here is because Branch is offering a 7-year warranty on their chairs. And Branch is looking like a real contender in the furniture space. I mean, they've got a ton of products out. They've got a ton of support behind their products, really good team behind it as well. And so 7-year warranty is nothing to scoff at, especially if you're just paying $80 more compared to the Kalami Atlas and you know you're getting a team of support behind it. That could be worth it to some. Love to know your thoughts in the comments. Branch ergonomic or Kalami Atlas? Let me know. Kicking off the mid-tier price point for my short kings and queens is the Haworth Breck. This thing is $419, has a weight limit of 325 pounds, and get this, guys, it has a 12-year warranty on the chair. A 12-year warranty on a chair for under $500 is unprecedented. Like, this thing is phenomenal. And I don't just want to go by warranty. Like, this chair I think is one of the most comfortable chairs at this price point as well. I'm 5'6", so I'm a little bit too tall. Like, you can see just how small this chair is. Like, I feel like a tiny kid on this thing. So you can tell that this chair is going to be good for shorter people. Also, not only is the seat, I think the seat is really comfortable, really well done. It's got a decent amount of adjustment on this chair. It's got this slatted backrest as well. This is like kind of a plastic rubbery thing, but I don't feel it digging at all. It actually feels really comfortable. It just kind of blows me away about how much chair you're getting and how much warranty you're getting for this price point. Also, I think Haworth is one of the best in the business in terms of their aesthetics, like homey aesthetics. A lot of these companies, you know, Herman, Steelcase, they built their chairs for like an office space to make it look good in like a big office. But I think Haworth is really targeting like that direct-to-consumer type market. And because of that, I think these chairs look really good, and the color options they offer are really cool as well. They're these like nice pastel colors that fit really nicely into your space. I know a lot of people in this height range are going to be females, and that's something that like you're more worried about as well. But also, you know, black is the most popular chair color, and the black looks pretty sick. Like, it actually looks really cool. So yeah, I think the Haworth Breck is just a really phenomenal chair in this price point. 12-year warranty. Kind of blew my mind away that they were able to put a chair together that felt this comfortable at this price point. It really was one of my top chair picks in this price point. Next up, for my short kings and queens, I had some people on my channel test these chairs, and they were women who were shorter in stature. I just wanted them as a test guide. And one of the comments they made, and actually many of them agreed, was that they want like this oversized thing, just kind of like holding them. And because of that, they wanted racing style gaming chair. They really like the racing style gaming chair. It's not a concept that I am used to because I don't want this big hulking thing over me, but that's me. So I understand that there is an appeal for racing style gaming chairs. And if that's you, I think the Ahnestly Kaiser 3 is one of the best racing style gaming chairs, the oversized chairs that I have tested. I don't test many because I don't really like these racing style gaming chairs. I think they're all kind of the same, but really the Ahnestly Kaiser 3 has been a little bit of a standout because the seat cushion here is on the softer side, a little bit more plush. plush, so it feels more comfortable overall. There are no hard bolsters kind of preventing you from single or double leg tucking in the chair. So yeah, I do think it's a good option. Nobody get the XL because I think it's gonna be way too large. Even the large is gonna be big, but again, if you're buying this chair, it's because you want something big. So I do recommend the large size. And for a chair like this, yeah, single or double leg tucking is gonna be probably the preferred option of sitting, just because the seat is gonna be way too deep for you to sit like this properly on the floor, even with the footrest. Oh, 3-year warranty and 260-pound weight limit. Next up, my short kings and queens is the Haworth Soji. This thing is $500, supports up to 325 pounds, and has a 12-year warranty from Haworth. Haworth is one of the biggest chair players in the world. They have a great track record of customer service and support. And overall, this chair, I mean, it looks pretty good, right? It looks like it could be in your home. It's not like too fashiony, trendy. It's just a nice, simple looking chair that feels really comfortable. The seat cushion is exceptional, feels really good. It compresses nicely. It's got some nice cutouts for your booty, so you never feel like you're bottoming out on the chair. And overall, it's got every adjustment you could want in a chair to really fit you and your body type well. The seat here can slide out and it gets fairly deep, which makes it really good for single and double leg tucking if you decide not to get a footrest and pair it with that. It also gets pretty low to the ground as well. Let me go ahead and put the seat pan all the way in, making a good option for my short friends, especially if you get a footrest, because then you get plenty of space between the back of your ankles and the front of the chair. So great for shorter friends. If you're someone who gets a little hottie, yeah, if you're a hottie too. If you're hotter, live in a hotter climate, and you want something that's a little bit more breathable, the Haworth Soji, again, great picks, $500, 12-year warranty, excellent chair. Next up is going to be the LiberNovo Omni. This is a new chair player in the space. They just launched their chair in 2025 with a successful Kickstarter campaign. They raised over like $9 million. It's been one of the best sellers. I really like this chair. Like, I cannot say enough nice things about this chair. In a space where I've been so bored out of my mind because all the chairs are the same chair over and over again. Out of China, they just mass produce these chairs, stamp a logo on it, try to sell it. I just got really, really tired and bored of chairs, and the LiberNovo Omni was a fresh breath of air in this chair space. And I really like what they did, really like the risks that they took with this thing. Like, look how flexible this backrest is. It echoes the kind of the design language of the Herman Miller Embody, but it costs a fraction of the price. I didn't even talk about the price. $848, holds up to 300 pounds, 5-year warranty on the entire chair, and a 2-year warranty on the motor. So some people have been skeptical about that. Why does it have a motor? What if the motor breaks? Is it gonna be a brick? All of that you guys can see in my in-depth review. Right now, I just kind of want to do an overview of the chair. Overall, I think the chair is a phenomenal chair. I think they got so much right, especially this like tilt back. It's just got this super deep recline, which you don't see in any chair. And you might think like, oh, are you gonna take a nap in it? That's not the point. The point is you can actually limit it, and you can probably go about a little further than this, and you can bring the headrest out like this, and you could find yourself easily like playing a game, reading something, turn the armrest in, playing a mobile game, reading a book. Like, you can find yourself not only working at an office, like at a desk, but also just working in unconventional ways, answering text messages, talking on the phone. It's just a really nice way to like lower pressure off of that lower back in this kind of varied settings. And I just really love what they did with this chair. And yeah, there's some risks here because they're a new player. What's their customer service like? What is their support behind the chair like? Those are questions that we don't quite know yet. We just know that they've launched the chair successfully, that a lot of people like it. Some people have their complaints, like with any product. I personally am a big fan. Just one note is that you can get this seat pan in 2 different lengths. You wanna go for the shorter version, the 45-centimeter version. I think that's gonna be more than deep enough for everyone at this height. So yeah, go for that option. If you wanna pick this up, yeah, I think it's a phenomenal new chair, 2025, and it's legitimately got me excited for chairs this year, so yeah. Next up is the Herman Miller SALE. This is $985. It can support up to 350 pounds, and it's got a 12-year warranty. And you can see just how small this chair is. I think actually the height is actually raised right now. This thing actually gets really low to the ground. And guys, so many people have told me this does not look comfortable. But when they sit in it, they go, oh my God, this is comfortable. Like, this is underrated in terms of its comfort. And I'm telling you, there are people who have been in the comments that were like, is it crazy that the SALE is my favorite Herman Miller chair? And I'm like, no, this is a ridiculously comfortable chair. I know it doesn't look like it. I know when you look at it, you go like, there's no way that's comfortable. But trust me, it's really that comfortable. It is a phenomenal little chair. I could sit on this as my daily driver. I'll be perfectly happy with this chair. The seat cushion is great, like really, really great. It's this soft cushion, not dense, not firm, but really supportive. And just overall, like the backrest feels really great. It's got this natural curvature, just fits really, really nicely on your back overall. And yeah, and the seat cushion actually comes out as well, so making it great for single and double leg tuckers. And again, the seat cushion is really soft and overall really good. Because of these, because this is like more of like a rubber but softer rubber texture, so it doesn't dig anywhere in your back, doesn't feel painful at all, but it also has a lot of breathability because obviously holes, right? So a lot of breathability as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a small chair, really stylish looking too. I know some people, you know, aesthetics are subjective. People hate the way this looks. I think it looks kind of cool. You can get it in different color schemes as well. Really bright colors, really loud colors as well. So great for like a really hipster artsy studio. But if your room is like a certain color and the sale matches, it could be a really great option. So yeah, overall, I mean, excellent little chair. $1,000, 12-year warranty. Herman Miller, one of the best chair companies in the world. Excellent history, track record of customer service and support. So yeah. Next up is the Steelcase EMEA. This thing comes in at $1,000. It's got a 12-year warranty from Steelcase, has a weight limit of 400 pounds. Now this thing looks like a plain Jane chair. It's very unassuming, but it's a very comfortable chair. I don't know what to tell you, but this seat cushion is phenomenal. It feels great. It's just perfectly supportive on your butt and back. And if you're in the United States, you can actually get this chair for much cheaper. So a company called Crandall Office, they have an amazing reputation. Everywhere you read online says nothing but great things about them. Again, this is only in the United States, but if you want to get an EMEA for much cheaper, you can get a remanufactured one, which means it's gone through their refurbishment process. They've replaced all the fabric, they've sanitized the chair, and they offer a 12-year warranty on the chair, and that's going to be around $520. You can also get an open box version. So this is gonna be someone bought it from Steelcase, didn't like it, returned it. Crandall Office takes it and they sell it with like an extra 20% discount. Those are gonna be about $800, and again, a 12-year warranty from Crandall Office. So it's great, you know, you can get it used or you can get it fairly used compared to buying it from some random garage on Facebook where you get no aftermarket support. With Crandall Office, you get, you know, the whole thing is clean, sanitized, and a 12-year warranty on the entire product. Or you can get $1,000 new from Steelcase. Again, phenomenal chair, unassuming, but trust me, this thing feels great, feels really comfortable and supportive. Yeah, amazing chair. First up for the baller chairs for the short kings and queens is the Haworth Fern. Now, both of these have headrests. You should not get the headrest. You are not going to be tall enough. I don't say that in a mean-spirited way, but just you could save money. Don't get a headrest version. The back will be plenty tall for you, okay? So the Haworth Fern starts at about $1,200 and goes up depending on the variant that you want. It's got a 12-year warranty, again, backed by a really reputable company with solid customer service and great track record of providing good warranty for their chairs. It's got a weight limit of 325 pounds. And the reason why it's on this list is because, again, it's got a really tall backrest. So if you're somebody who feels like you just want support all the way up and you kind of want some head support because you will be on the shorter end, you can actually just kind of put your head back and your head should rest on at least that top portion of it. And because it's padded, it should feel comfortable and soft. It's not going to replace, obviously, a real headrest, but it is a head resting option. The recline is pretty deep. Overall, the functionality is great. And I think what makes it a big standout is that the seat pan is actually really wide and big. The armrests go up, and so it's really gonna be nice for that single and double leg tucking. Also, the chair goes really nice and low, so if you get yourself a footrest, you should have no problem kind of raising your feet up in this. Overall, it's a really solid chair. Now, let me talk about just a couple of quick options here. So you're gonna see that these backs look a little bit different. Now, this is a collab that they did with Xbox, so if you're into the gaming versions, you can do that. For the gaming versions, keep in mind that you get a bigger discount when they go on sale. Like the gaming versions go on sale for around 25%, whereas the regular ones only go on sale for 15%, so that is some kind of incentive to push you towards the gaming ones. But you can see this one here is the mesh back. This is gonna be more breathable. It's got a nice cushion here so it doesn't feel like tough or anything like that. It's got this kind of springy, rubbery backrest here that allows that backrest to really mold and shape and move with you as you move in it. Feels really, really cool and feels cool because it's mesh, it's breathable. This one here, you can see that it's got these little bubbles here. This is the digital knit back. The digital knit, it gives you more cushion, more padding, feels better, feels more comfortable, I think, in my humble opinion, but you lose breathability because you do get extra cushioning and padding back here. So you can get the regular one with the digital knit back. There's gonna be a premium for that, or you can get one of the gaming variants, and the gaming variants come with this kind of digital knit back here. So just a lot of options that you can buy. Now, $1,200 can be a lot, so if you're in the United States, you're in luck because my friends over at Crandall Office, they actually sell these things as an open box. They sell open box Haworth products, all the Fern variants, you can get it, and it starts at $1,000. So that's a 20% saving over getting a new one. The downside though is that Crandall Office, for their Haworth chairs, I don't believe you can return the chairs, and they only offer a 1-year warranty. So you can weigh whether you think that's worth it. A 20% discount and you lose some of the return and warranty options. So just want to throw it out there in case you want to buy these things refurbished and you think you want to get a deal on it. Yeah, again, don't get the headrest. I think I talked about the weight limit already, 325 pounds. So good for, you know, shorter, wider, heavier folks. Should cover the gamut, and that 12-year warranty has got you covered. Next up is the Steelcase Leap. Now this is called the V2, but they dropped the V2 because V1 was discontinued like years ago, so they just called this the Steelcase Leap. So yeah, if you hear V2 versus V1, there is an old V1, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so this is the Steelcase Leap, okay? I have two different variants here. I'll explain why in just a second, but they're exactly the same. Just one is refurbished, the other one is pretty much new. Starts at $1,400 directly from Steelcase, holds 400 pounds, and it's got a 12-year warranty. Again, Steelcase is one of the great customer service, great track record of warranty and all that stuff. So if those prices seem a little bit outlandish to you, there is two options to buy it for cheaper. This is only applicable if you're in the United States. So if you want to get an open box one, my friends over at Crandall Office, the Steelcase Leap there starts at about $1,000. Open box is, hey, I bought it from Steelcase, I said I didn't like it, I returned it to Steelcase, Crandall Office takes it and they sell it open box, and they tell you what might be dinged up about it, if anything got dinged up. And again, you save a significant amount of money, $1,400 versus $1,000, and you get a 12-year warranty from Crandall Office on that chair. Really good deal. There's that option, and then you can get the refurbished option, which is this one here. This one starts at about $600, and the reason why that is because it's refurbished. They take old Steelcase Leaps, they put it through their sanitation process, they replace everything, the cushions, the fabric, and they clean it all up, and they sell it like that, and they offer a 12-year warranty on these chairs. So $600 versus $1,400 new, huge benefit, especially if you're in the United States. And I believe Crandall Office said that if you buy a headrest with it, you get an additional discount on the headrest. More on the headrest talk a little bit later. So let's talk about this chair and why it made it on this list. So the Steelcase Leap is just a phenomenal chair. This is probably the #2 most popular chair in the world. The cushions are great. The flexibility is really next to none. Like, it really bends and moves with you. It's got a nice fat wide cushion here, so you get plenty of space if you want a single, double leg tuck. It's got all the adjustments in the world that you could ever want out of a chair, and it just feels really good. It's a really solid chair. Now, why would you want to go with something like a refurbished one from Crandall Office? It's because they offer a thicker seat cushion here. And that is really important, because if you're on the heavier side, even though these chairs claim they can hold 400 pounds, in my experience, when you use the original cushion that Steelcase provided, I always bottomed out, meaning that I could feel the hard bottom on my butt. And so Crandall Office offers a thicker seat cushion for their chairs, and I think it's a really needed upgrade for the chair. And again, you can get that in the refurbished one. The headrest here, you should only get the headrest if you are 5'3" and all torso. If you're under that, don't bother with the headrest. Yes, it does get pretty low like that into the chair, but even then, it's not gonna be low enough to feel, I think, really comfortable for you. So again, I only recommend it if you're 5'3" and all torso. Again, you can buy this with Crandall Office if you decide to get it with them, or you can buy it directly from Ahnest Headrest, and I'll put all those links down there. You get like a $5 discount if you use my link, and so you can get that here. It's not cheap, it's expensive, but you can see that it does look really nice. I talk about the headrest nuances. I'll just do it really fast. Basically, if you get it from Ahnest Headrest, you can only get it in one type of fabric. It's a fairly close match like this, but if you go for Crandall Office, because they offer their own custom fabrics, their headrest will match 1-to-1 with your fabric of your chair. So that's just a quick nuance there. Steelcase Leap, one of the best chairs in the world, highly recommended. Next up is the Herman Miller Mira 2. This thing starts at $1,550. You get a 12-year warranty from Herman Miller, and it's a really great mesh option. It holds up to 350 pounds. The reason why this is so good is because it's an all mesh option, but it's got more adjustability than something like the Herman Miller Aeron. As a matter of fact, some people swear that the Mira 2 is better than the Aeron. I'm not sure. I actually can go back either way. I think both of them are great. But the reason why I think I would recommend this to shorter folks is because of this adjustment here that, again, you don't get on the Herman Miller Aeron. You can actually tilt this thing down so that if you're shorter and you've got shorter legs, it's not gonna be digging into that front edge part. And that's gonna be one of the biggest weak point of a lot of mesh chairs, because mesh sometimes can, sags a little bit more compared to fabric chairs and cuts off circulation here. But the fact that you can bend this forward part out of the way is really gonna prevent that, especially if you're shorter and you wanna sit properly like this. You can get a little footrest like that and kind of sit like this. It's gonna be a really, really great option. It's also like a fairly tight chair. It's not a huge chair. You're not gonna be drowning in it. And it's also, I think, it's very design forward. I mean, look at this. Like it looks very, I mean, fancy schmancy. There's a reason why a lot of hipster offices, art offices use chairs like this. My recommendation, personal recommendation, is you get two options for the backrest. You get the butterfly mesh back, and then you get the polymer. The polymer is going to be just this plastic part that you see back here. I highly recommend you get the mesh version here that I have, because I tried both versions in the store before I bought it. Yes, I do buy many of my chairs here, so it's thousands of dollars. I appreciate if you use my link, by the way. This thing feels very hard on your back, and maybe it's because I have a baby back, but yeah, it hurt. Like pretty bad. And this little cushion layer here made all the difference in the world. It went from a completely unusable chair to a chair that I actually really, really like. So yeah, Herman Miller Mirror 2, underrated mesh chair. I think it's phenomenal, especially for my shorter friends, because of that front seat tilting down mechanism. Highly recommend. Next up is the Anthros chair. Now this thing looks really funny. This is their actually new one, their version 2. This one starts at about $2,000, but using my link, you can get $200 off. So I'm gonna just call it $1,800 because that code is permanent. So 1,800 bucks, you get a 12-year warranty. And what's kind of unique about the chair, besides its looks and what it does, which I'll explain in just a second, is that they actually offer a 6-week trial that you can sit on this thing before deciding to return it. So that's huge, because most other companies, I think, give you like 15 days. And also you can access like sitting consultants, experts to kind of help you dial it in and sit right and better ergonomics and all that stuff. So you have access to that stuff, which is really unique. It's a nice value add here. And this is gonna be the best chair, in my humble opinion, for posture and for lower back pain. Like it really is gonna be a great chair. And initially, for the past like year or two, I think, I actually had this off of the short people's, because the short people tier list, right? Because I thought that the chair wouldn't be comfortable for short people. But it was only recently when I had actual short people come into my studio and test out a couple chairs and compare them, that a lot of short people actually really, really preferred this chair, to the point where there's one girl who said, I really, really like it. The price point, unfortunately, was a deal breaker for her, but she really, really liked the chair.
First impression was definitely like, this one's not it. And that was purely me judging a book by its cover. I've actually really grown to like this chair. Like, maybe this is the chair I'll buy because I'm starting a new job. I'm like, maybe this is what I need.
The reason this is so good is that you can actually dial in this is what they call their pelvic support right here. You can dial this in as much as you need. It acts both as like a depth control as well as how much support you want in that lower back. And then the top part here can also adjust in and out depending on how much you need. And every single person who sat on this chair said like, oh, I get it. Like, I understand what the chair is trying to do. Now, not every person wants to have better posture in their chair, so you gotta make a decision. Do you actually wanna sit better, healthier, properly? If so, the Anthros chair is really a great option for that. If you're someone who's like, nah, I just wanna sit like a slob forever, then I can't help you. You know, like no chair can help you really. I mean, nothing's gonna change diet and exercise and stretching and all that stuff, but really, like if you're trying to sit healthy for as many hours as you work, the Anthros is probably your best bet. Next up is the Herman Miller Aeron. This is the GOAT of mesh chairs. It starts at $1,900-ish. Supports up to 300 pounds, and you get a 12-year warranty from one of the best chair companies in the world, Herman Miller. Excellent track record of customer service, warranty, and all that. I have personally used Herman Miller's warranty, and they were, chef's kiss. They were really, really incredible. So you get 3 different sizes on the Aeron. You get a size A, B, and C. And the reason why is because the chairs really aren't that adjustable. The lumbar support can kind of move in a little bit, and just in and out, and the armrest can go up and down, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, you get some like seat motion and stuff like that, you know, tilt and all that. But in terms of like adjusting the size of the chair itself, you don't get any adjustments. And that's why it's important to get that sizing right. And so for everyone in this height range, I recommend a size A. That I would recommend a size B to is if you are getting into that 5'3" range and you are heavier set. You are the only people that I recommend maybe considering a size B, but even then, I think a size A would suit you better. This here is a size B, by the way. I don't have a size A on hand. Size A's are inherently rarer because, again, you guys make up a smaller portion of the population. Anyways, the Aeron is a legendary chair, and the reason why is because this mesh seat is tuned so freakishly good. It is ridiculous. I went to a chiropractor once after an accident. They told me I had the lower back of a 40-year-old man, and I was, like 18 at the time, and it just had a lot of lower back pain. And I just used those, you know, big plushy pleather chairs that cost like $30 at Office Max or whatever. And I picked up a used Aeron for like $100 on Craigslist or something. I sat in it, and I was like, oh my God, it blew me away. It was really one of the first chairs that really resolved a lot of back back pain I was having with sitting. So yeah, these chairs are really, really, really great, but they're a little outdated in terms of their ergonomics. Like you just sit still and that's it. Like you can really only sit in it and not move around because it's got these hard edges here on the side bolsters, hard edges on the sides. It's really not meant for you to like move around in the chair. And I think as studies have gone on, they all talk about the best position in your seat is the next position. So a chair that can really support you as you move around to get that blood flow going and stuff like that. But if you want a mesh chair because you get hot and you want the best mesh chair probably in the business, the best tuned mesh seat in the business, the Herman Miller Aeron is going to be your go-to. Now you can see that there's a headrest here. Herman Miller does not make headrests for their chairs for the most part. This comes from a third-party company, but at your guys' height range, really I don't recommend this headrest. It doesn't get low enough. It's going to fit you funny. You'd much be better off just kind of scooching forward a little bit and letting your head rest back here. Even though it is a little hard, you could get yourself a little cushion and kind of lay it on top of that backrest and lay on that because this thing will just get in the way. I promise you that. Last but not least is my personal favorite chair. This is the Herman Miller Embody. We've got the non-gaming variant over here and the gaming variant over here. You can see that it's the gaming because it's got this kind of more unique design. They did a collaboration with Logitech, hence the G here. And then you can see that, you know, like the backrest looks a little bit different colors as well. And then the non-gaming one, you've got a whole bunch of fabric, different color options as well. This gaming, the Embody, both the non-gaming and the gaming start at $2,045. And it's got a 12-year warranty. It's got a 300-pound weight limit. Again, Herman Miller, one of the best chair companies in the world. And if it wasn't clear enough that this is my favorite chair, I'll go ahead and, for good measure, bring in one more. This is one without the headrest, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But why is this chair so good and why do I recommend it for my short friends? Well, the seat pan can actually be pulled in. I believe many of them are extended out right now. So it can be pulled in so that for my shorter leg friends, you'll be able to put a footrest down and be able to sit on it. You can kind of pull this seat cushion in. You can see just how much space I get back here. And then if you are a single double leg tucker, you can actually extend this seat pan out quite a bit. Like you can see just how much that came out. That's about 3 inches that it came out. You know, 3 inches is plenty, guys, you know? And you can basically just single or double leg tuck and you get this massive seat cushion to do so. I really like this chair. I really like the Embody. I think there's so much that's good about it, right? One of the major things is gonna be like the flex of the back. You can really, you can just see just how much it bends with you. Compare that to the previous chair, the Aeron, which was just stiff. This one has all the flexibility in the world, really moves with you. The seat is actually really unique, where the seat kind of is like a blend between fabric and mesh. They use what they call their pixelated structure, which is like a rubber kind of net that bends and moves, and so it kind of feels like mesh, but then they have this layer of fabric and cushion on top so that it kind of also get that nice softness of cushion as well. You get soft edges for the most part all around the seat edge, so it feels really good. You do have some cons though, right? One of the cons is gonna be that the lumbar support is static. You can't really mess around with it, and some people claim that it's really, really hard and it's intense for them. Again, I'm somebody who prefers a little bit more aggressive lumbar support. I found it perfectly fine. It seems like the majority of people are okay with it, but I just wanted you guys to know. So what's the difference between the non-gaming and the gaming variants? Well, I've tested these extensively tested them. I have multiple videos on them, and I personally prefer the gaming Embodies, especially one that's been broken in over some time. I really do like it a lot, and most of the people that have come in here have also agreed that they like the gaming ones better. I think some people who didn't, they were more like of the people who wanted their chairs a little bit stiffer, a little bit tighter, a little bit more firm, or there was someone who didn't love the aesthetic of this kind of ridge here, and some of them could feel the ridges as well. So those are the folks that didn't opt for the gaming one. So, you know, it's a trade-off that you got to decide on which one you like better, because again, the price is the same between the two. Now, headrest. Again, Herman Miller doesn't make headrests for their chair. This was made by a company called Atlas Headrest. You can see that they have, it's like a near one-to-one match. I mean, I would call it a one-to-one match, but there might be a slight miscoloring of the plastic depending on which color variant you get, but the fabric itself is definitely a one-to-one match, and this headrest is phenomenal. It's so soft, it feels really, really good. And they also use the same like plastic color back here that's on the pixelated mesh. So really, really cool, really, really well designed. Looks like it belongs with the chair. Very expensive though, costs $200. You can use my link down below to get $5 off. So that is something, an add-on you can get, but I don't recommend the headrest unless you are 5'3" and all torso. If you're under 5'3", I think while you can use a little bit of the headrest because it does get really low into the chair, I still think this bump here is gonna be a little uncomfortable for you because again, you're supposed to get your neck in this like curvature area. But yeah, Herman Miller Embody, my favorite chair. I also have another one at home. So yeah, kind of crazy about these chairs. For my perfectly average friends, according to ChatGPT, plenty of amazing people aren't tall. Tom Holland, Bruno Mars, Messi, height doesn't stop them from owning their space. they're also millionaires. But we won't focus on that. Instead, we'll focus on the fact that chair companies are drooling over our money because we make up the majority of the population. And because of that, they make chairs, all of their chairs, fit us perfectly. And so because of that, we are perfectly average. All right, so kicking this list off is going to be the Staples Serena. This thing comes in at about $150 to $180, depending on how Staples feels. There's sales going on all the time. And this chair is a phenomenal cushion chair. Now, last year, I had a chair that was under $100, is the Amazon Basics chair. And the reason why it's gone from this video is because the more and more I sat on that chair, I realized, man, like this chair is not good. But it's the best under $100. It really is. Compared to the other chairs, it's better. But it's just objectively a terrible chair, and I think it's gonna flatten after just a couple months of regular sitting. So I said, look, instead of encouraging people to throw their money away and sit on hard plastic after 3 months, let's introduce a real cushion chair that has some real decent cushion here. And while I do think this is, again, a budget chair, I think this cushion will go flat as well. You have some recourse because Staples offers a 5-year warranty on their chairs, and they have a good course record or history record, whatever, of a good customer service and good support and good warranty. So 5-year warranty, good customer service and support. The cushion just feels really, really good. 275-pound weight limit for this thing. The back feels great. The armrests are nice and cushioned as well. A pretty basic functionality. You can go up, down. It can lock the backrest, or you can tilt back like this. And then the armrest can actually fold up and away, which is a really nice touch. And they don't get in your way when you actually have your arms and back out here for if you're typing or you're just lounging like this. Doesn't hit the back of your triceps back here. So overall, really solid cushion chair. Under $200, probably one of the best. Next up is the Staples Dexley. Now, I think the Staples Dexley is gonna be better if you're a little bit wider, if you're a little bit taller. If you're on the slimmer side, the Staples Hyken might be a better option for you. These two chairs, the Hyken and the Dexley, are about $150 to $180. They both have a 275-pound weight limit. And again, just to reiterate, I think the Dexley is better for my wider and slightly taller friends because it is a little bit like more airy in this chair. The Hyken, on the other hand, did feel a little bit tighter, a little bit more narrow. So yeah, up to you which one you decide. The reason why these chairs are a standout, kind of like with every Staples chair on this list, is that they offer a 5-year warranty. That is pretty freaking amazing for chairs that are under $200. Overall, the features are really good. Comes with this big old headrest for those of you who have big domes. It gets fairly low as well, so you know, me being 5'6" fits perfectly for me. If you're shorter than 5'6", might not fit the best for you unless you're okay with the headrest being like directly on the back of that head bone back here. Right now, for me, it fits in this neck here, and so that is perfectly good. And yeah, just really awesome mesh chair, under $200, 5-year warranty, 275-pound weight limit. Pick your poison, Hyken or Dexley. I know there's a big war between those two. I personally prefer the Dexley, but yeah. Next up is the Kalami Atlas. I think this is the best chair under $300, although it's starting to creep really close to that $300 price point. And I think the price lift is warranted, but I don't want to say that out loud. Because you see, the features and adjustments on this chair are phenomenal. Like, you don't see this much adjustment and features on a chair until you get to that $500-600 price point. So seeing this on a chair under $300 is absolutely wild. Also, you see the amount of metal that they use on this chair on the legs and on the arms. Again, it's unprecedented. I really think that this is a phenomenal chair. It's a steal at this price point. Some common complaints about the chair, though, are going to be the aggressive lumbar support that people feel like are just jabbing into them. So some people actually just rip this plastic pad out or gotten a foam from like the craft store and just put it in there to provide some relief. And some people complain that the seat cushion here is way too firm. Look, I've sat on some real bricks. This is not firm, but I can see why people would say it is. I think it's like a medium firmness, but you know, to each their own. I still think it's pretty cool. It's just a little bit more bubbled instead of being flat and concave, and I think people want a little bit more of a cushy experience. This is kind of like sitting on a bit of a bubble, so I can see why people might complain about that. It's got a 300-pound weight limit, under $300. One of the best mesh fabric hybrid chairs in existence, under $300. It's one of the best, hands down. Next up is the Branch ergonomic chair. This thing is $360. It's got a 275-pound weight limit, and it's got a really nice seat. This one is a bit softer than the Kalami Atlas. And the backrest here, it's mesh, but it's got some kind of like fabric in between those edges, so it feels a little bit softer on the back as well. Feels like a pretty good chair, and the adjustments on it are great. It's pretty good adjustments. A little harder than the Kalami Atlas, and I will say that overall, I do think the Kalami Atlas is a slightly better chair and a better value because it's a lot cheaper. It's, what, $280 versus $360? But the Branch's warranty is actually really solid. These guys offer a 7-year warranty on this chair. 7 years is a long time. The fact that you get support from a company, Branch is like growing really fast, and I think they're putting a lot of support behind their products. It looks a little bit more legit than Kalami Atlas. I'm not saying Kalami's not legit, but like compared to Kalami, Branch is looking like a real serious contender for like a big furniture company at this point. So I think because of that, Branch has that like customer service and support behind the chair, unlike Kalami. But is it worth $80 more? I don't know. So for some of you guys it might be, for some of you it might not. But overall, the Branch ergonomics, still a phenomenal chair. Kicking off the mid-tier price for my perfectly average friends is the Ahnestly Kaiser 3. This thing is, I believe, $469 for the large and $499 for the XL size. I'll talk about size in just a minute. Now look, some of you guys cannot help yourselves. You want a racing style gaming chair. I personally don't prefer racing style gaming chairs. This is why I don't really review many racing style gaming chairs, but some of you all are insistent that you want a racing style gaming chair. I understand why. Some people actually find these more comfortable than like $2,000 Herman Miller bodies, and so to each person, their own, right? And I get it. Aesthetics on this thing, there's just something about it that kind of draws you to it. It makes you feel like you're racing, although these bolsters aren't really necessary because those bolsters are for when you make sharp turns and, really heavy G-forces. You're not really doing that when you play, League of Legends or something, but I understand. I get the appeal, and from all the ones that I have tested, I do think the Ahnestly Kaiser 3 is the best of the racing style gaming chairs so far. I'm supposed to test a couple more this year, so, keep that, so stay posted, get subscribed and all that stuff. But yeah, I think overall this chair does feel pretty good. I think the seat cushioning is a lot softer than you'll find on a lot of racing style gaming chairs. On the tall person's picks, I'll explain all this, but, most people prefer the Ahnestly Kaiser 3 because the seat cushions were softer, and the people who are real gluttons for pain wanted the Secret Lab because the Secret Lab just feels like a brick, and some people like that. Some people just really want a firm seat cushion. So yeah, overall, I do think that this feels like one of the best. Has really good seat cushion again. I think that's one of the big standouts on it. It's got a 3-year warranty. Oh, and height breakdown deviation. So if you're under 5'10", I do recommend you get the large. If you're over 5'10", get the XL. The only exception to this would be if you're heavier set, if you're wider, then maybe at like 5'8", 5'9", you can consider the XL. But realistically, if you're under 5'11", you should just go with the large variant. And in terms of weight limit, the large, the weight limit is 260 pounds, and for the XL, the weight limit is 395 pounds. Yeah, one of the best racing style gaming chairs that I personally have tested so far. Next up is the Haworth Soji. This thing costs $500. It's got a 325-pound weight limit and a 12-year warranty from Haworth, who has a great track record of customer service and support. Haworth Soji is, I think, one of the best chairs in this price point. $500, all the adjustments you could want in a chair. Feels really comfortable as well. It's just a really nice, like, basic chair. And again, Haworth just does a really good job in terms of their, like, color schemes. So I think you can match any color you want in your space. It feels very homey. It feels less like it should be in an office and feels more like it should be in your home, which you can't really say with a lot of chairs, because a lot of chairs do look like, oh, that looks like it belongs in an office space, not in a home space. So yeah, this chair feels really great. It's got a really nice mesh back. The mesh back is a little bit on the scratchier side, so if you're not, butt naked, you should be okay. But yeah, I mean, overall, really good. The seat cushion feels really good. It's pretty dense. Don't feel like you're bottoming out whatsoever. Yeah, there's not really much to be said about it. It's just an overall really comfortable chair, a really unassuming but comfortable chair. Again, that 12-year warranty for this price point is phenomenal. Haworth, I think, really excels in that like mid-tier budget area. They make some great direct-to-consumer chairs, and yeah, can't recommend it enough. Really like the Soji. Next up is the LiberNovo Omni. This is $848, so we're seeing a big jump in price here. It can support up to 300 pounds, and it's got a 5-year warranty on the entire chair, but a 2-year warranty on the motor. If you're asking why does it have a motor, I recommend you check out my in-depth review on this thing. This is a brand new chair of 2025. LiberNovo is a new company, and I think they just knocked it out of the park with this chair. I'm a really big fan of this chair. I really like what they've done in terms of their design. They've really kind of gone outside the box. Like, dude, I review a lot of chairs, guys, and I've just been pretty bored with the chairs that are coming out. They're all just like Chinese chairs that they just, put their own name on, and they're all exactly the same, and they're just kind of boring, just plastic and coming with these gaudy designs. But LiberNovo, I actually feel like, really went to the drawing board and said, hey, how do we make a chair? And I feel like they just hit so many of the things that I wanted in a chair. So like some of the big standouts are gonna be this like insane tilt, and you can really relax in a chair. There's no chair that can tilt back like this unless you're looking at racing style gaming chairs. And I already kind of shared this with you guys. I don't really like racing style gaming chairs. I don't think they offer really good like lower back ergonomic support. I think they're fine. I think you can sit in them. Many people can sit in them all day, but just in terms of like wanting that proper support, I think this one does it, and you get that amazing deep recline as well. This headrest has been designed pretty darn good as well. It goes in every which direction, forward and back, which you don't see on a lot of headrests that aren't like from Atlas headrest, which is a $200 headrest. So I think it's a phenomenal design. Just an overall really, really well-designed chair. The seat depth is something that you want to consider because there's a shorter option and a deeper option. I think up to about 5'7", you should probably go for the shorter seat depth. And then if you're taller than 5'7", you may want to consider the longer one. Keep in mind that there's a big caveat here because even though the seat depth might be longer, the frame under it doesn't extend any further. So you just end up getting this like flaccid cushion in the front here that doesn't really support you. So if you are a taller person and you want to like single leg tuck or double leg tuck, you might not get much support in that extra cushion because there's no framing under it. But I had someone comment the other day, they're like, I'm 6'9" and I think the deeper cushion is fine. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm confused. You know, it seems like generally speaking, I think up to 5'7", you should get the shorter seat cushion. I'm 5'6". You can see this is the deeper one, and you can see that this is just too deep for me. It's making contact with the back of my knee here. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is a phenomenal chair. Really, really great chair. A newcomer though, so you don't really know what the customer service and warranty is going to be like, or the support behind their warranty is going to be like. But yeah, I really think they knocked it out of the park with this one. Super flexible, moves with you. It has a massage feature, but I really think it should be better called a stretch feature, where the lumbar, that's where the motor comes in. You should really watch the dedicated review, because I can't say enough nice things about this. Yeah, I got some criticisms about it, but it just, I think, is a really good chair, especially in 2025, 2026, and yeah, highly recommend this chair. Next up is the Steelcase EMEA. This thing is $1,000. It's got a 400-pound weight limit, and it's got a 12-year warranty from Steelcase. Now, if you're here in the United States, you can actually buy this in 2 different variants, much cheaper than you would new. You can get it from Crandall Office, and you can get it in 2 different versions for much cheaper. The first one is going to be remanufactured. This is the refurbished process, where they basically sanitize the chair, replace all the cushions, and you get the option to get a thicker seat cushion as well. Some people might want that, and that's going to cost $520. And then you have an open box version. So basically, someone bought an EMEA from Steelcase, said, I don't like it, returned it to Steelcase. Crandall Office will take it and then resell it, and that one you can get for $800. So again, you can get it refurbished, but completely like new refurbished for $520. You can get it open box for $800, or you can buy brand new from Steelcase for $1,000. Both the remanufactured and the open box options from Crandall Office also comes with a 12-year warranty from Crandall Office, which is a huge, huge perk, especially when it comes to used chairs. You can go to a random, site on Facebook and buy a chair, but that's gonna have 0 support, 0 warranty. You have no idea where it came from, but with Crandall Office, you know their entire refurbishment process, and you know you're gonna get 12-year warranty with excellent customer support. Like, these guys have a great reputation. You can check anywhere online, and everyone has nothing but good things to say about them. Now, the Steelcase EMEA is one of the most unassuming chairs in the entire world. Like, this thing looks like a super basic chair. It'll spin forever, by the way, so something fun to note. We noticed that when you spin it, it just goes on and on forever. Anyways, that's not why it's on this list. It's because it's a good chair. The seat cushion here is phenomenal. I mean, like, people sit on this chair. I cannot tell you how many people have just like looked at every other chair because they look cool, and they just ignore this one. And I say, hey, why don't you go check out that orange one? And they sit on it and they go like, oh, this is pretty good. Like, this is a really good chair. So I think the EMEA is one of those sleeper chairs. Like, it feels great, but nobody really expects that it does. You're gonna see a ton of comments when it comes to the EMEA going like, my office had an EMEA, and oh my God, I miss it so much, because again, all these fancier, schmancier looking chairs, like all the lumbar and stuff moves around like that, but it just doesn't have this like basic, great comfort, support like the EMEA does. So really, really wonderful chair. It's got all the solid adjustments, all the adjustments you could want in a chair. Seat depth comes out, height, armrest can move every which way. The only thing that it's really missing is a headrest, and I don't see any headrest option coming anytime soon for the EMEA, but that's really the only thing it's missing. But yeah, overall, really great chair. Next up is the Haworth Zodi with the mesh back. This is $1,000. It can hold up to 325 pounds and has a 12-year warranty from Haworth, which, as I've said before, is one of the best chair makers in the world. The customer service and warranty support is really, really great. It's my editor's favorite chair, my videographer editor's favorite chair. He uses it all the time. I had to steal it from him for this video. And yeah, just a really, really great chair. This one has the chrome base, so this one's gonna be more expensive. This chair actually has a couple options that you don't see in any other chairs. It's got a really, really deep, like forward tilt kind of thing going on. You're able to kind of take this and get it really, really high up. Like look at this height range on it, right? Like look how stupidly high this gets, and you can basically use this at a standing desk, so you can kind of do like a little bit of a perch, so you can get down and you kind of work at a standing desk and kind of stand up on it like that as well. So just a really, really good chair. I think it feels great. The seat cushioning is really, really good on this thing. And of course that mesh back, which got a little bit of fabric on it to make sure that you're not feeling that plastic edge too hard. Just overall, a really solid chair, a really great option, especially if you're at a standing desk, you want something that goes really, really high up, so you can kind of get in and out of it really quickly while you're standing to kind of get into like a pseudo standing like position. The Haworth Zodi is it, and it's got a ton of features and adjustments. Really, really awesome chair, really excellent option. So for my perfectly average friends, because so many chair companies make chairs to accommodate for our size, because again, we make up the majority of the population, you guys have a lot of options in the baller tier. I really tried to pare it down, but I think each and every chair that I have at this tier plays its own piece. I'll try to explain what makes each chair a little bit different to help you in your buying decision. But first up is going to be the Haworth Fern. Now, this is a variant of the Haworth Fern. This is an Xbox collab one that they did. They have another Xbox collab. There's just so many variants, but let me just bring out this other one here, just so you guys can see some of the other variations that they have. All right, so Haworth Fern. It starts at about $1,200 and it goes up with every option that you add on. Haworth offers a 12-year warranty on their chairs, proven track record of excellent customer service and all that jazz. It supports 325 pounds. And what makes the Haworth Fern, I think, stand out is it just has a really nice like combination with seat and backrest and functionality, right? Like everything functions really well. And something that's really unique about the Haworth Fern compared to some of the other chairs is that the back is really high up. So you can see that the backrest goes really, really high. And so if you're somebody who wants like additional support all the way up the back, but you don't want to have to go into racing style gaming chair territory, I think the Haworth Fern is really an excellent option. They also give you, I kind of talked about the backrest a little bit. So this is what they call their standard like mesh back. It's mesh, but it's actually got a lot of like cushion back here, and the whole backrest is really, really flexible, so it kind of moves with you as you move throughout the day. So this is what that mesh back looks like. You can see through it, really breathable. But over here you have the digital knit option. Now a bunch of chairs are gonna have the digital knit. You can get a regular Fern like this and get the digital knit on it, or you can get one of their special edition gaming collabs like this Xbox one here. Usually when these go on sale, they go for 25% off, so you get an extra discount versus the regular ones where you get about 15%, so something to keep in mind if you're tracking sales, which I will be updating in the spreadsheet in the description, so keep that in mind. For me personally, the digital knit feels better. I have a personal Haworth Fern digital knit. It's in like an orange auburn color at home. I really love it. Again, I'm 5'6" and I kind of don't need a headrest. I like having it, but I can just kind of scooch down a little bit and rest my head on this top thing here. And because there's a bit of cushion here, it's not uncomfortable, but I'll talk about headrest in just a minute. But yeah, so I think this is a really great option. It's got a ton of adjustability, again, that 12-year warranty, and there is an option to buy these things for even cheaper if you're in the United States. So again, my friends at Crandall Office, they sell open box Haworth Ferns, and I believe they start at about $1,000. So pretty significant savings, and they have all the different variants as well, like the Xbox One and the regular ones and whatever. But keep in mind that with Crandall Office, for the open box Haworth chairs, all their Haworth chairs, they only have a 1-year warranty policies and no return. So that is very different from their Steelcase chairs. So that is a limitation. So you do save a bundle of money, but there are some limits to that. So something to keep in mind. Now, let me talk about these headrests really quickly. So you should not be getting a headrest of any kind if you're sitting at like that 5'4" to 5'5" area. 5'6" is okay if you're a little bit more torso than leg. Essentially, nobody should buy the headrest that Haworth provides. Like this thing here, it comes with the Xbox thing. You can't get it without it. You can remove this thing, and if you have the option, if you get a regular one with a headrest, you should just not opt for it. It's not worth the money. It's a complete piece of crap. It's so bad. I want to remove this one, but I just keep it here because this is more for like showing in videos. The one I have at home, I've removed the headrest because it was so bad. And you can get a third-party one here. This is from Atlas Headrest. This is actually the Aeron's headrest that they made for the Aeron that they've kind of canoe-bobbled whatever to fit the Haworth Fern, and I think it's an excellent addition. Just because of the nature of it, you can see that it gets pretty low and then it can get high-ish And then you can kind of pull it back and forth like this, and you can tighten all those and crank them down so it doesn't move, and then you can swivel it like this. I think this is gonna be a much better headrest option if you want one. Again, you gotta be 5'6" or taller really to use this kind of headrest here. And you can see that you don't need to buy a headrest version and then do it, because the way they've adapted it is that it grabs the bottom of the frame here and then clips onto the top of the backrest here and goes in like that. So you don't need a previous headrest version to buy this. And it has a weight limit of 325 pounds. Here with Fern. Next up in the baller tier is going to be the Steelcase Leap. Now, this used to be called the Steelcase Leap V2, but V1 was discontinued a long time ago, and I guess Steelcase isn't gonna make a V3 anytime soon, so they just call it Steelcase Leap now. Steelcase Leap starts at $1,400 new, and it's got a 12-year warranty and supports up to 400 pounds. Steelcase is probably, one of the biggest chair companies in the world, offer excellent customer service, great warranty, blah, 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 right? Now, if $1,400 seems like a stretch, there are cheaper options of buying it, especially if you're in the United States. Now, if you're in the US, I highly recommend my friends at Crandall Office. Now, Crandall Office will sell an open box Steelcase Leap. Open box meaning I got it from Steelcase, and I didn't like it, I returned it. Crandall Office takes it from Steelcase and they sell it. And the open box ones start at $1,000. So that is a significant discount, $1,400 versus $1,000. And Crandall Office offers a 12-year warranty on the Steelcase Leap from themselves, Crandall Office. So really, really solid deal. Now you can get it even cheaper, and if you want to get one that's refurbished or what they call remanufactured, you can get that starting at $600. Now what does that mean? It means they take old Steelcase Leaps that they have on the streets, and they basically bring it in and they basically sanitize it, clean it all up, replace all the parts, replace the cushion, replace the fabric with their own custom fabrics that are very high quality fabrics. By the way, they told me that a trick that you know whether a fabric is good is if they lay out their specs, like double rubs, longevity, things like that. If they name those specs, that means that that is a high quality fabric. If they don't mention those things to you, it's probably some cheap fabric that they imported from somewhere, so just keep that in mind. So basically the chair comes like new, basically, right? It's just really, really nice process. So the Steelcase Leap, it's probably #2 most popular chair in the world. I mean, this thing is phenomenal. The seat cushion is great, the backrest is really good, all the adjustments you could ever want. The backrest is super duper flexible and bends and molds with you. It's got a really unique recliner as well, recline mechanism. So this one, you can see that when I lean back, the seat pan kind of like slides forward here a little bit, making it much easier and more natural to tilt back. A lot of times when you tilt back in a chair, you often find yourself like scooting forward and then leaning back in order for your back not to feel like stuffy. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but because this one here, the hips move out a little bit, it feels much more natural in its recline. So overall, it just feels like a really, really comfortable chair. Really nice for people who want like a cushy back too, so something to keep in mind. Now, why would you want a refurbished one? Well, it's because Crandall Office actually offers an upgrade on the Steelcase Leap, which I think is very much needed, which is a thicker seat cushion. One of the biggest criticisms I had about the Steelcase Leap was that the seat cushion, although it felt really good, really it's like a medium soft density, so nice and cushy, is too thin. I felt like I bottomed out. I'm not that heavy. I'm like 167, 165 on a good day. So I'm not that heavy. And even for me, I could feel the hard bottom on my butt cheeks. So Crandall Office actually offers a denser seat cushion here. And I think it's, again, a very much welcome needed upgrade to these chairs. Also, if you want to get a headrest, the one that Steelcase sells is terrible, and you should not buy that headrest at all. Whatever you do, do not buy the headrest that Steelcase offers. It's terrible. Crandall Office and Atlas Headrest, two different companies, they came together to make a third-party headrest for the Atlas headrest here. And if you buy the remanufactured one from Crandall, they will give you the headrest at a little bit more of a discount. So something to keep in mind. This is very similar to, again, the headrest on the Herman Aeron, but they completely adapted the mechanism to fit on the Steelcase Leap, and they did a really wonderful job. I think it works really well. Again, you can crank it down, you can move it in and out, up and down, exactly how you want it, and this thing will swivel. This cushion is great. If you're a headrest user, you want it. It gets super duper tall, like absolutely ridiculously high up. And so yeah, it can fit the entire height range. Feels really, really good, really soft. In terms of fabric options, I made a whole video on this, but I'll just summarize it really fast because that way you guys don't have to click around. Basically, if you get it from Atlas Headrest, you'll only get it in like one color option, and it's kind of this darker one here. But if you go with Crandall Office, because Crandall Office sells their own custom fabrics with their chairs, the remanufactured ones, you can get the headrest in the exact one-to-one fabric and color match that your chair would be in. So something to keep in mind. If you decide to go directly with Atlas Headrest, again, I'll provide all the links. You can get a $5 off coupon code using my link, and yeah. Next up for my perfectly average friends is the Human Scale Freedom. Now, if you get the headrest-less version of this, it starts at $1,400. If you get the headrest version, it starts at $1,800. I'll talk about the headrest and who should get it in just a second. But Human Scale actually offers a 15-year warranty on their chairs. Compare that to Herman Miller and Steelcase, who offers 12 years. That's an additional 3 years. So huge value add there. And this chair supports up to 400 pounds. And I think this is an underrated chair. Like, this goes under the radar. Human Scale as a company kind of goes under the radar in the direct-to-consumer. They're kind of new in this space, but I really like their products. This one simplifies chairs like crazy. So all these other chairs have 10 million knobs and gigamabobs to adjust the chair up and down, whatever, right? This one is very simple. You can adjust the backrest up and down, and then you can move the seat pan in and out, and you get the armrest to kind of move up and down like this, and you get a little bit of play on the armrest, and that's it. Otherwise, the chair is supposed to detect how much weight you're putting on the chair and just move and dynamically adjust to you. What's really cool about this headrest, especially if you get it, is just the way that the headrest kind of dynamically moves with you as you bend back. Like, you can see my head is completely still, and the headrest kind of comes into me and tilts back and tilts forward. It's actually a really, really sick movement. I think this chair, again, is super underrated. It simplifies chairs, and I think that's the reason why people love it. But it's also the reason why people might not like it, because not having a ton of adjustments means that you can't ever lock the tilt. You can't lock it in place. You can't sit upright. I know some people are really big sticklers about sitting upright, even though you should technically be tilting back just a tiny bit to relieve some pressure off of that lower back, but it's okay. You know, you sit how you want. You can adjust it and make it tighter. You do have to get an Allen key and get under the chair. It's a little bit of a workaround, but you can tighten it if you want that tension to be a little tighter. But yeah, I think this is an underrated chair. Got a really big seat pan. This headrest is solid, and again, you can raise this headrest up and down for additional height. I will say, unless you're 5'4" and all torso, you shouldn't get the headrest version. Save yourself some money. So if you're 5'4" and you're more leg than torso, then yeah, don't get the headrest version. Save some money. If you're 5'5", 5'6", and taller, anybody I think in this height range can use this headrest. It's when you get really tall that the headrest starts to push into your shoulders a bit because it doesn't fit quite right. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, Human Scale Freedom, like really, Human Scale is a great company. I really like this chair. Highly recommend if you're looking for something a little more simple where you don't have to adjust every goddamn thing every time you sit down. Next up is the Steelcase Gesture. Now, this thing starts at $1,500-ish. Comes with a 12-year warranty from Steelcase, and again, Steelcase, great company, excellent customer service, excellent warranty, and it supports up to 400 pounds. You can see I have two different variants here. This one has a headrest, this one does not. But let me just talk about pricing options again. Crandall Office, again, great company, excellent reputation, those guys. Seriously, nobody has anything bad to say about them. You can get cheaper options if you're here in the United States from them. So if you want to get a open box one, I believe that starts at $1,000, and then a remanufactured one starts at about $900. So you can get a significant savings, and Crandall Office offers a 12-year warranty on their chairs and free returns. So something to keep in mind. So the Steelcase, by the way, I didn't mention the Steelcase offers free returns on their chairs. Now, again, I have to justify every single chair why there are so many on this baller tier for you perfectly average folks. It's because unlike the Leap, the Steelcase Gesture, I think, has a flatter, slightly flat. By flatter, I don't mean like it's like a board. I mean it's like flatter and a little less cushy. So if you're someone who likes a firmer backrest, if someone who wants a little bit more of like a little more aggressive on your back, you know, it could be a good option for you where you don't feel like you're sinking into the chair and you feel like you're kind of sitting on top of the chair. Some people really like that feel. You know, it just depends. Every person is different. Some people want a couch when they sit. Some people want like a chair, right? And also, the armrests are still touted to be the best armrests on any chair. You can just see how much mobility and adjustment you get. So this thing can move like all the way in and out like this. And if you hold down the arm pads, you can pretty much move them into any position that you want. And then the pads themselves, of course, will move. They'll just kind of swivel in. And you can really get them anywhere that you want inside the chair. They also go super duper low as well and in tight. I don't know why you'd want it like this, but you can get it like that as well. So those are some of the advantages. It's also just a really, really nice chair. The seat cushion is really good. Like the seat cushion on the Gesture is phenomenal. It just, I don't know exactly how to explain it. Like compared to the bottoming out of the Steelcase Leap, this one, I don't feel any bottoming out whatsoever. And it's just a nice chair. Some people would argue that this is a really good contender to the Herman Miller Embody. I don't agree with that. I like the Embody better. More on that later. But anyways, let's talk about the headrest. So if you really want a headrest, I think you kind of have to be like 5'5" and more torso in order to get a headrest. Steelcase actually makes a headrest for their Gesture. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I would call this like a B to A tier headrest. This thing can move up and down like this. It can kind of turn all the way around if you don't really want it when you're sitting up. And you can bend the thing forward like this. I don't know why anybody would want it like that, but you can. And then you can also kind of bring it up and out like this. And again, you can swivel it. It goes up and down. So yeah, I think you probably have to be around 5'5" more torso to use the headrest effectively. Otherwise, it's just not going to hit you in the right place. But yeah, I mean, the Steelcase gesture is a really, really great chair. Again, this is probably some people's favorite chairs. You'll see in the comments a ton of people talking about how good the gesture is or how much they love it. And yeah, great chair. Next up is the Herman Miller Mira 2. This starts at $1,550, 12-year warranty from Herman Miller, and it's got a 350-pound weight limit. Now, the reason why this chair is so unique on this list is that you get a mesh chair, but it's got more adjustability compared to pretty much every mesh chair on the market. So this seat here, especially, I kind of talk about this in the shorter friends, that this seat can actually move up and down like this. Like with any mesh chair, because the seat sags a little bit more compared to fabric chairs, sometimes circulation can be cut off in the legs. And so if you find that the seat pan is too deep, even for my taller friends on this height range, you can kind of pull this thing down so that you don't make any contact up there, and it can free a lot of that like pressure and tension over here, and it feels really cool. So I love that you get that adjustment. It also has a really tall back, as you can see here. It gets really high up, and there aren't those like turned in edges like on the Aeron, so you can kind of like move and turn inside of it, and you don't feel like you're restricted. If I can make a personal recommendation, it would be that you get two different options for the backrest. You get this kind of like butterfly mesh back, or you can get the polymer flex back, which is this plastic thing without any kind of fabric covering here. And if I can make this recommendation, get the mesh back here covering for this thing, because I sat on both variants in the store before I bought it. Yes, I do buy a lot of my chairs. They're very expensive. Please consider using my links. It helps the channel a lot. And I couldn't sit on the one without this mesh here. It was just too hard. It dug into my back. Maybe it's because I've got a little baby's back, but I couldn't do it. So literally, it went from the chair being unusable to me, and with the mesh back, it became one of my favorite mesh chairs. So yeah, Herman Miller Mira 2, great chair. Next up is the Anthros chair. Now this thing starts at about $2,000, but with my link, it's $1,800. You get a 12-year warranty, and what's really unique, what value add they add here, is that you actually get a 6-week trial with the chair, so you can sit in it, try it out, make sure it's good for 6 weeks, which is the longest trial period you get from anyone. I think most companies are like 15 days, maybe 30 days max, so 60 days is really, really nice. And you also get access to like consultants where they can help you kind of dial the seat in and get properly seated and ergonomics and all that stuff, right? So really, really cool value add here. But I think this chair is the best chair on the market right now for people who experience lower back pain and people who want better posture throughout their day, who want to sit properly. Like, this chair is phenomenal. This is their version 2 chair, and I think it's a really, really, really great chair for that. Now, not everybody wants to sit properly. Some people want to sit like slobs forever. And if that's you, go ahead, do your thing. Get a more like cushy / whatever chair. But this one really is meant to help you sit properly and feel better, so that when you get up out of your chair, you're not having to like stretch additionally because you just feel unhealthy. So this thing really is great. What makes it unique is that they offer a pelvic support compared to a lumbar support, and you can dial this thing in as much or as little as you need. It also acts as a seat depth control here, and this one can move in and out like this depending on however much you need that there as well. The armrests are gonna be the weakest part on this chair. Armrests often are the most weakest part on any chair, but these armrests in particular feel like particularly cheap, so something to keep in mind. But yeah, overall, I think it's really like the best chair for, I keep saying this over and again, lower back pain, better posture support. There's no better chair on the market. Give the Anthros a try. Next up is the GOAT of mesh chairs, the Herman Miller Aeron. I've got a size B here and a size here, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But these chairs start at about $1,900-ish. It holds up to 350 pounds, and it's got a 12-year warranty from, again, one of the best companies in the world. And I have personally used Herman Miller's warranty. They were chef's kiss. They were really wonderful in terms of getting people out, fixing the chair, and when it needed to, it got taken in, repaired at their site, and delivered the next day. It was really, really great. All right, let's talk about this chair. So why is it here? Well, again, it's a mesh chair. Well, the Mira is a mesh chair. Well, I think the seat on the Herman Miller Aeron, this mesh seat is the best tuned mesh seat in all the business. Like, you sit on this mesh seat and you go like, oh my God, it feels great. I mean, it really does feel great. This is gonna be the newer remastered Aerons. When I say newer, it was like released in like 2007 or something, right? So yeah, basically every Aeron that you buy new is gonna be remastered. But yeah, I mean, this mesh is tuned so well. I mean, it fits so good. The biggest concern that you're gonna have is with sizing, because unlike the Mira, This thing cannot adjust that much for your size. You can't adjust the seat pan, you can't adjust the back or anything like that. You can only really dial in the lumbar support, like in and out. The cheaper versions have an up and down, and the armrests go up and down. And besides like some tilt stuff, you can't change, again, the sizing of this chair. So it's really important that you get the sizing right. So for the vast majority of people in this height range, I'm gonna recommend a size B. Who would I recommend a size C to? It's gonna be for anyone who's probably 5'11" and above, and especially if you're 5'11" and wider. If you're 5'11", I think you could still pass with a size B, but if you're 5'10", 5'11", and you're on the wider side, I do recommend a size C for you. Again, this seat pan here, you cannot adjust that. And so if your legs are not long enough, they're gonna get pinched, they're gonna fit in a weird way, lose circulation. So it's really important that you get the size correct. Now, let's talk about this headrest, because most people in this height range, you really do like headrests. Some people don't, and it's just up to you. But Herman Miller does not make a headrest for their chair. And so these are aftermarket headrests from a company called Atlas Headrest. I think they are the best headrest makers in the business, especially for the Aeron. There are a lot of other companies out there, and a lot of them are either subpar or the company just really sucks. Office Logic, you guys suck. And these headrests are great. So you got this fabric cushion version here. I personally like the fabric cushion version better. I think it's more comfortable. The benefit of the mesh version is that it's literally a one-to-one match. Like this mesh and this plastic here is literally a one-to-one match with the chair, so much so that when people look at this chair in every video, they're like, hey, where do I buy the headrest? Herman Miller doesn't offer, like, I don't see the option on Herman Miller's website. So it's really that good in terms of the appearance, like how well it was designed, how natural it looks with the chair. The downside though is gonna be the price. These headrests are not cheap. They're around $200. If you wanna pick one up, you can use my link down below. It gives you like a $5 off coupon. Not huge, but I earn $5 for every headrest. That helps the channel a lot. Even $5 helps a lot, so I appreciate it. And so yeah, Herman Miller Aeron, one of the greatest mesh chairs in the world. Oh, one of the weaknesses about the Aeron is just gonna be the lack of movement that you can have in the chair. Anytime you work for a large company, you want the chair to look a certain way, and you make compromises on the way that it functions and blah, blah, blah. And I think one of the big limitations here is going to be these hard edges and raised edges on the side and hard edges on the back where it's really wide as well. And that's what that means, is that you can sit in the chair, but if you move, you're gonna run into something hard, right? And it's not gonna be the most pleasant feeling in the world. And I think modern ergonomics, at least what I've been told, is that nowadays the new mantra is the best position is the next position. So trying to get you to move around, get that blood flow going. And so because of that, you know, the Aeron is really meant to get you to sit and not squirm or move around. Whereas other more modern chairs, it really is meant for you to kind of like move and swivel and, you know, be able to bend inside the chair and stuff like that. So, but again, the upside of the Aeron is that this is the best tuned mesh seat in the business. Last but not least is my personal favorite chair, the Herman Miller Embody. Over here you have the non-gaming Embody. You can tell because it's just got a flat surface here. And then over here on my right, you've got a gaming Embodies, both of these. You can tell because it's got those ridges here and it's got this G logo, very subtle G logo. That's supposed to be their Logitech collaboration. That's who they partner with to make these gaming ones. Common question is there a difference between the gaming and the non-gaming? I've done extensive testing on this, and I've made multiple videos on this, and I've had people come in and test the chairs completely blind. Many of them agree that the gaming Embody does feel more comfortable. Not everybody, but most people I think agreed that the gaming Embody did feel more comfortable. I personally think it does feel more comfortable, especially as you break it in. I think the gaming Embody has a little bit more cushion, and as you break it in, that cushion plus broken inness makes for an overall more comfortable experience compared to the non-gaming. The people who preferred the non-gaming Embody said two primary reasons. The first one is the way it looks. Because it doesn't have those ridges here, it looks more seamless, it looks smoother. I think some people preferred that look. And the second reason is because some people reported that they could feel the ridges on the gaming Embody versus this one, which doesn't have the ridges, they don't feel it. But I also think it's kind of a toss-up because the ridges, like these ridges here, is what provides additional cushioning in the gaming Embody. So up to you to decide which variant you prefer. These start at, I believe, $2,040, $2,045. It's got a 12-year warranty. It supports up to 300 pounds. And again, this is my personal favorite chair. What makes them super unique, and again, I have to justify every chair on this list, it's that this is probably the most unique feeling seat of any chair in existence that I've tried so far. It's got this kind of blend between mesh and fabric. So it's using this thing called the pixelated mesh, which is this rubbery material so that when you sit on it, it kind of flexes and molds and bends with you. So I'm getting way too ahead of myself. But it also has this fabric cushion layer on top. So you get the cushiness of fabric, but also the bendiness and flexiness of mesh. And it's got no hard edges compared to the Aeron, which is a really nice touch. And the seat pan can come out and it becomes really big, really wide for my single and double leg tuckers. Just a really, really great chair, really, really great experience. Some cons, which I talk about constantly in all my Embody videos, just so that everybody knows that I am very aware of the weaknesses of this chair. The armrests don't adjust all that much. They go in and out, up and down, and that's it. You can't adjust them anywhere else. And the lumbar support here, this can be very, very stiff for some people. For me personally, I like it aggressive and I find that it doesn't really bother me, but some people have said that this lumbar support can really dig in, feel uncomfortable. And then for my taller friends, I unfortunately don't have the privilege to be super tall, is that these hard edges on the side can dig into the shoulder blades. It just all varies, right? It depends on your back shape and stuff like that. But I think these are some of the best chairs in the world. Now, this headrest here, it looks like this headrest, again, is a one-to-one match with the chair. It looks like Herman Miller made it, but Herman Miller does not make headrests, at least for the most part. And so these are made by a third-party company called Atlas Headrest. Now, you can see that this thing looks like, again, it was designed by Herman Miller. You can see that the color matches here, that the fabric is a one-to-one match with the fabrics of the chairs. They've got multiple color options for their different fabrics. Just a really, really great headrest. Like this cushion here is phenomenal. It really is one of the best feeling headrests in the world. Got incredible adjustability to go forward and back, up and down, and then the thing can swivel itself and you can tighten those things. You can extra tighten them with a hex bolt. Anyways, these things are not cheap though. They're an additional $200 add-on to an already very expensive chair. You can use my coupon code for $5 off. You know, again, $5 for every headrest. Really, it's not a lot, but it still helps the channel, and I really appreciate you using that if you want to pick it up. But you can just see that this chair, like this headrest, a lot of people say it completes the chair, especially if you find yourself on the taller end, that 6'3" end, and you find that you really want additional back support from your chair. I've had people that actually lower the headrest like this and sit on it, and this thing is so cushy, and like I don't know exactly what's going on, but they said it's so cushy that this actually adds additional upper back support for them. Feels really great. So yeah. Overall, I think this really is a great chair, my personal favorite. Oh, and in case you wanted to see what it looks like without a headrest, in case you don't want to use a headrest, I've got a fourth one here. Just goes to show how much I like this chair and how much money I spent on these chairs because I like them so much. For my mommy and daddy long legs, you all are in the best position in this entire tier list. And it's not because you're super tall and can reach the tallest shelves, it's because I actually paid a bunch of tall people ranging from 6'3" all the way to 6'8" to come and test my chairs and tell me which ones they like the best. There's a free version of that video, there's also a premium version if you want to purchase that and support the channel, but this here is going to be a pared down version of their top picks. And we're going to kick off the list with the Staples Dexly. This is an all mesh chair both on the seat and the backrest, and it comes in at about $150 to $180. Again, it always goes on sale, so it can kind of range here. And the reason why this chair is so good is just because it just feels really good. And compared to the Staples Hyken, which is another very popular mesh chair, the Dexly does feel wider, it feels airier, it feels like you're gonna crash into things a little less. And so because of that, I do think that's the reason why the tall guys like this chair a lot. Again, the breathability is a big touch because, you know, some of the guys that were here were also heavier set. I think they sweat a lot in chairs, and they could feel just how much air, how much, you know, breathability there is in this chair. The headrest here is a nice, huge, big headrest because, you know, people have big domes, you know, it's perfect for you as well. Has really solid options and features as well. And the biggest thing is that 5-year warranty. So Staples offers a 5-year warranty on their chairs, and that is a huge, huge bonus at a chair that comes in under $200 because not only does it have a 5-year warranty, but they also have a history of good customer service and support. That means if this mesh begins to sag or tear and it's not because of anything you did, like you didn't cut it, if it just starts to do those things, you have some kind of recourse to try to get the chair repaired or replaced. And that is not the same. You can't say that for a lot of chairs in this price point, especially if you're on the heavier end. You're not going to have a lot of recourse if your chair goes flat or the mesh loosens. The Dexly has a 275-pound weight limit, one of the best mesh chairs under $200. Next up for my mommy daddy long legs is going to be the Staples Serena. This thing is about $150 to $180. Oftentimes it goes on sale for less than that, supports up to 275 pounds. And just like I said with the Staples Dexly, Staples offers a 5-year warranty on their chairs. Now, why is this one on the list? It's because the cushion here is actually pretty phenomenal. It's got fairly thick cushions both on the butt and the legs. You can see just how high it gets up here. Not the tallest chair in the world, but it does get pretty high. And overall, it's a very, very very cushy seat. The backrest is really comfortable as well. And the armrests swivel up and away. I know for my tall freak of nature friends out there, sometimes it can be hard to scooch into a desk, your arms get in the way, bang into the desk. So by swiveling them up and away, you're able to get it super clear and you're able to work close to your desk, nice and ergonomic position. Again, 5-year warranty, phenomenal. One of the best chairs under $200, especially if you're looking for cushion. Next up for my mommy daddy long legs is the Tacova ergonomic chair. This one surprised me because I personally thought the Sihu M18 would be a better pick, but a lot of people picked this one. And I think I can kind of understand why. I think the headrest feels a little bit better. It's got a little slightly better cushioning on here. And overall, I think the chair does get really freakishly tall. Like this is pretty tall. The backrest feels okay as well. But yeah, overall, more tall people picked this one as, as one of their favorite budget picks over the Sihu M18. And that's the reason why it's on this list. I think they also preferred the seat cushion as well. And so, yeah, I mean, it has really, really good adjustability. It's got a lumbar support where you can tighten and loosen, move up and down. Pretty basic functionality. The armrest can kind of move forward and back and swivel like this. So you're getting above average functionality. Coming from Amazon, you know, you're gonna have a decent return policy as long as you're okay breaking down the chair. But yeah, Tacova ergonomic. The next top budget pick that my tall friends picked was the Kalami Atlas. This thing, it just has all the features you could ever want in a chair. And usually this amount of features is found in chairs that are like $600. So the fact that this Kalami Atlas has it for under $300 is pretty mind-blowing. Plus you see the amount of metal that they use on this chair is actually pretty fantastic for a chair at this price point as well. So overall, I think people liked it just because it had a headrest and the chair felt very sturdy, very firm. It gets fairly high. It's not for my tall friends, it's not the deepest seat pan in the world, but it does extend out. Like this is the deepest that it goes. You can see it's not the deepest pan in the world, but I think the fact that the chair just feels really good, it's got a mesh back, yeah, it just feels really sturdy, is I think the reason why they ended up picking it, because again, a lot of chairs in this price point really aren't all that. Also, this thing has a 300-pound weight limit, so something to keep in mind. And finally, on the budget tier list for my tall mommy daddy long legs is going to be the Staples Lachlan Big and Tall. The reason why I think the guys like this so much is just because they just wanted a chair that felt comfortable. You know, over ergonomics, over posture, over whatever. They just wanted something where they could sit in it and go like, ah, yeah. Kind of like that, like almost couch-like feeling. And you can see just how big this thing is. Like, man, my legs are Kevin Harding like crazy. I can't even get down from this thing. So you can see that it's probably one of the true chairs that are actually big and tall, that are made for big guys in mind. It's got a lot of space over here. The cushions are really fat, little, really, really like fat cushions. It's not firm by any means, but it's just got like a lot of like plush to it. So it's not gonna, you know, super compress easily for my taller, bigger friends. Yeah, just, I don't know. It's just a pretty simple chair. It's your standard like cushy chair. I just think it just gets tall and it's big, and I guess that's why it's called Big and Tall. It's also got a 400-pound weight limit, and it's got that Staples 5-year warranty. So great chair. For my tall mommy and daddy long legs, there is something about racing style gaming chairs that just calls to you, because these are one of the chair designs that actually catered towards really, really tall friends. This here is the large size. You should not go with the large size. You should go with the XL size. The XL size is gonna be about, what is it, $499. It's gonna have a 3-year warranty. It's got a maximum weight limit of 395 pounds. Again, this is the large size, so it's not the biggest, but the reason why they picked the Ahnestly Kaiser 3 is because I think they really like the seat cushion, how it was softer compared to the Secret Lab. The Secret Lab is also gonna be in this list because some people preferred a much firmer seat rest or a seat here. But yeah, the Ahnestly Kaiser 3, if you want a softer seat cushion, this is probably gonna be your pick. The only time, or the only reason why you might not wanna go with the 3 is because of these cutouts here. So let me move this headrest out of the way. You see these cutouts here? These things are plastic. And for people who had broader shoulders, they could feel this cutout on their shoulder blades. This is the reason why that some people picked the 4, which you're gonna see in just a second, as well as the Secret Lab. So something to keep in mind. You know what? Let's just bring the 4 out here. So this is actually the 4XL. The XL version, and this is the 3 here. So I just wanna show exactly what I was talking about with these cutouts here. So on the 4, you can see they're like up here and out of the way, whereas on the 3, they're kind of like a little bit lower right here, kind of where those shoulder blades would be. So this is part of the reason why some people prefer the 4 over the 3. The common thoughts though that everybody had to say was that the lumbar support on the 4 is just okay. Just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and pop out this lumbar support here, like that. And you can stop it in kind of any position you want it to. So you can get it to be as aggressive or as little aggressive as you want. People much prefer the 3's lumbar support over the 4, but the reason why they like the 4 is because, again, these cutouts were a little bit more out of the way. Some people actually liked the way that the 4 looked, and one person actually said that the lumbar actually felt really good, the way that it kind of popped out and sat wherever, so that you could really kind of get that like scoop motion and you sit up right like this. Same thing as the Kaiser 3, it's got a 395-pound weight limit, it's got a 3-year warranty, and I believe this is $540 compared to $500 for the Kaiser 3 XL. This one again is the large. I don't have the XL one on hand. Next up are 2 different Secret Lab chairs. This one here is the Titan Evo 2022, and this one here is the NanoGen. This is their newest one. So the Titan Evo here is going to cost $550. One of the testers got to test the NanoGen, only one of them. I didn't have it in at the time, so only one got to do it because he came in a little later, and he preferred the NanoGen over the regular, like by far. He said the seat is a little bit softer, which is true. This material also feels like really premium compared to the older, like leatherette, fake leather material. So overall, he really liked the NanoGen. This is why I'm bringing it out here. I know it's a little bit more expensive. It's kind of jumping the line a little bit, but I just figured I'd bring them both while we're talking about Secret Lab, okay? So yeah, Titan Evo, man, this seat is a brick, dude. Like this seat is really, really firm, but some people swear by it. I mean, I've had people who just like attack me and say they prefer their Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 over a Herman Miller gaming Embody, which is a $2,000 chair. So some people swear by their Secret Labs, and again, in this tall person chair test that I did, the Secret Lab came up a lot. And the NanoGen came up once, and I have no doubt that it would come up more, especially if people felt a little bit softer this seat is, and just overall how much more premium this one felt over this one here. Secret Lab offers a 5-year like extendable warranty. I don't really know what that means. I think you have to share some kind of like social media post to get an extra 2 years of warranty. I don't remember. It's something crazy. Yeah, $550. $850, 395-pound weight limit on both chairs. This is both the XL sizes, by the way, for both these chairs. Just for size reference, I'll sit in it. I'm 5'6", and you can just see how big these chairs are. So yeah, people swear by these chairs. The tall guys did, and that's why they're here. Next up is the Habata E3 Pro. This thing comes in at $550. It's got a 3-year warranty and supports up to 300 pounds. And honestly, guys, this one confused me a bit because I personally don't like this chair, but this was a big favorite amongst the tall guys. I kind of understand why. It's because I think the backrest here can actually crank up, so it can actually accommodate the tall backs of tall guys. But here's the thing, this chair doesn't go all that high. Look, I'm 5'6", and you can see that my feet are still kind of on the ground. So if you're super tall, your legs are gonna be like out here because you just they have nowhere to go. But I think the reason why these guys liked it is because the idea of a footrest attached to your chair is a pretty novel idea. And this footrest is actually pretty comfortable. It's got padding right there. And so they never got to really sit in it and experience what the chair was gonna be like if you had to sit upright. Because I think many of them would prefer to have their legs out like this, which is a good alternative compared to many chairs, all chairs actually, which are just way too short for them, and their legs are never comfortable. So you might as well be out here like this, sitting like this when you're at a desk working. So I think for that reason, they prefer this chair. But again, overall, I think that this chair it just feels a little bit like flimsy, right? So even though it's a super popular pick with the tall guys, which is why it's on this list, I'm just giving my personal thoughts so that you guys don't get mad when you get the chair and you're like, oh, it's flimsy, and you put it on your ultimate chair tier list. Like, I'm just telling you guys what they liked, right? Because I'm not tall, so I'm trying to rely on other like actual tall people's experiences and preferences for what they liked, and that's why this is here. Next up is the Asus Destriero Ergo Chair. This thing is $900. It's got a 265-pound weight limit, and Asus offers a 1-year warranty on the chair. Now, I personally love this chair, but the 1-year warranty for $900 really threw me. But here, I'm just going for, again, what the tall guys picked, and this was a fan favorite. They really liked this chair. I think they liked the fact that it was mesh, but it felt incredibly comfortable, which is what I said as well. It feels really good. Like, I really, really like this chair a lot. I think it's got a lot to offer, just because of, like, the up here, like, it's a thinner in the back, so I felt like their arms could open up really easily. The chair was nice and tall as well. The universal sentiment, though, was that this thing here felt really weird and kind of unusual. It's supposed to be a sound blocker so that like sound can't, if you're playing a game or something, it can't come from behind you and disturb you. But this thing is removable. When you install it, you don't have to install it, so there is that. But yeah, overall, this was a fan favorite. Again, I really like this chair. I just didn't like the warranty. But again, for tall people, this is not my preferences. This is actual tall people chair picks from actual tall people. So I hope you guys can understand, like this one, this tall chair tier list is a little bit different. It's based on what actual tall guys like, not what I think they would like. First up for the baller mommy daddy long legs is the Haworth Fern. This thing comes in starts at $1,200. It holds up to 325 pounds, and you get a 12-year warranty from a reputable company with, good track record of warranty and customer service. You also get free returns on the product as well, which is a really good thing in case you're not really sure. What I always recommend to people is, hey, start with chairs that you can return for free and easily if you're not sure between 2 different chairs or 3 different chairs. That's always been my recommendation, my go-to recommendation. I think the Haworth Fern is an excellent chair, and I think especially for you taller folks out there who really want a headrest, you get this third-party headrest. I'll talk more about that in just a second. Let me talk about the chair first. So, really solid chair. I think it's got a nice tall back, so it covers more back than a lot of other chairs out there. It's also really comfortable and not offensive as well. You get this optional lumbar bubble back here that you can get. Some people call this thing aggressive. I think it's not aggressive, but I typically favor more aggressive lumbar support, so take that what you will. But you get a couple of different options, right? So you get this kind of back here. This is their mesh back. This is gonna have a little bit of padding to it. You can see that it's got this kind of rubber shell here, and what that's gonna do is allow that backrest to really mold and move with you as you bend around in the chair. But you get some padding here so you prevent any of that like hard rubberish stuff from ever digging into your back. Feels really good, really soft, and it's gonna be more breathable because it is more of a see-through, lighter fabric. Now, if you want a little bit more comfort, a little bit more cushion, that's when you go for the digital knit back. This is a much, these are like balls of cushions here. It feels really comfortable. And my testing with the tall guys, again, this showed up in their, as one of the top picks, but also this bubble here, they picked the digital knit over the mesh because of that comfort here. And you don't lose that much breathability, but you do lose breathability compared to the mesh version. Now this one here is their Xbox collaboration. They do a couple of gaming collabs that you can pick up. It's got a leather seat here, and it's got the digital knit back. Haworth usually offers a 25% discount on their gaming collabs versus a 15% on their regular Fern. So some incentive to kind of push you towards the gaming ones if you like that look. So something to keep in mind. Let me talk about possible alternatives. So if you're in the United States, you can actually get this a little bit cheaper. So new Fern is gonna start at $1,200, but if you want and you're in the United States, you can get an open box Fern from my friends at Crandall Office starting at $1,000, and they've got all the different variants. The downside though is that even though you get a 20% discount compared to new, you are going to get no free returns. So I don't believe you're able to return the chair, and you also get only a 1-year warranty compared to a 12-year warranty and free returns going directly with Haworth. So you gotta decide whether that 20% discount is worth that trade-off. So let's talk about headrests really quickly. So if I can just make this very, very clear, do not buy the headrest from Haworth. Please, this headrest from Haworth is just trash. It's really bad. It's just a pad that moves up and down, and that's it. And the padding on here is stiff. It's uncomfortable. Do not buy the headrest, okay? The gaming ones, they come with a headrest. You can't control that. So this headrest you can actually remove as well. It's a little bit intensive to get it out, but it's doable. So just keep that in mind. If you do want a headrest, go with this third-party headrest from Atlas Headrest. You can see that this headrest was actually adapted from their Herman Aeron headrest that they have, their fabric one, and they've kind of adapted it so it fits the Fern. This is gonna feel significantly more comfortable. It gets fairly high. You can see that it gets pretty high up there, and you can move it in and out like this, and then you can tighten everything down so nothing moves on you while you move around in the chair. And then of course this thing swivels, and the cushioning on this pad is gonna be infinitely better compared to this thing, as well as you got that curvature so it fits nicely in that neck bend curve Atlas, that's why they call it Atlas, and that Atlas part of the back of your neck feels really, really good. Discount code will be down in the description below if you decide to pick that up. And so yeah, Haworth Fern, 12-year warranty, 325 pounds, great chair. Next up for the tall mommy and daddy long legs is the Steelcase Leap. Now this has shown up in all the other ones. Why is it also good for you? It's because this headrest here I think really makes this chair usable for super tall folks. Now you can see that the backrest isn't nearly as tall as the previous one, the Haworth Fern, but it doesn't really matter that much because of the way the chair is designed. The backrest you can see kind of folds backwards a little bit away from the back so that when you're sitting up, you're getting plenty of support on that lower back, not nearly as much support on that upper back though, so something to keep in mind. That's where a headrest can be helpful helpful, can come into play, can offer that additional support on that upper part of that head, of the dome area. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, Steelcase Sleep starts at $1,400, 12-year warranty, one from one of the best companies in the world, excellent track record of customer service and warranty, and it's got a 400-pound weight limit, so a really significant weight limit for my heavier friends. Now, you can get this chair at a significant discount if you're in the United States. So there's two different options. From Crandall Office, my friends at Crandall Office, again, have a great reputation. Nobody has really said anything bad about them. They have an amazing, amazing rep, especially on like Share Reddit. So really awesome guys. Anyways, they sell an open box version of the Haworth Fern, and that's gonna cost $1,000, so a $400 discount, pretty significant. Or you can get a refurbished one. Refurbished, or what they call remanufactured, is they take old Leaps from the street, because again, these chairs are very, very popular, especially in offices, and they'll take it, they'll put it through their refurbishment process. They sanitize the thing, fix everything up, replace all the parts, replace the cushion, replace the fabric with their own fabrics, and they'll do all that, and that starts at $600. So a significant saving over new. And also, with Crandall Office, you'll get a 12-year warranty and free returns on their chairs. So something to keep in mind. That is a huge value add. 12-year warranty, free returns is amazing. I love Crandall Office. They are really amazing people to work with. Just people of upstanding character, and that's who I love to work with. Like, seriously, great guys. In terms of functionality, it has every adjustment you could ever want. Yeah, the backrest doesn't get all that high, but again, I kind of talked about that outward curvature so that you're getting plenty of support on that lower back, maybe not as much on that upper back. The seat pan does come out, and one thing I want to talk about, this isn't meant to be like a Crandall Office, like, you know, promotion video, but something that I do want to talk about is that one of the biggest criticisms I had about the Steelcase Sleep New was that the seat cushion was too thin. I'm not that heavy. I'm like 165, 167 pounds. Fine. All right, maybe I am heavy, but that's what I am. And when I sat on the Steelcase Sleep's cushion, I felt like I was bottoming out. I felt like I could feel the hard bottom on my booty cheeks, and I did not like it. Well, Crandall Office also detected that problem, and they offer a thicker cushion on their remanufactured chairs, and that is a very much needed upgrade in my humble opinion. This is much thicker, much fatter, yet still has that medium soft plushiness, same contours, feels really good, and that would be one of the main reasons why I would say you might want to go with the refurbished one, because of that thicker seat cushion. They also offer a thicker back cushion. I'm not as big of a fan of the back cushion. I think I like the slimmer one, because then I feel like I can really move and feel that lumbar support down here a little bit better. But let's now talk about this headrest. So this headrest, Atlas Headrest and Crandall Office came together and made a third-party headrest for the Steelcase Sleep, because Steelcase makes a headrest for their chair, and it sucks. No one should buy it. It's terrible. It doesn't even move. Like, it's so bad. Please, do not buy it, okay? Atlas Headrest and Crandall Office came together. They made this headrest here. It gets super duper tall. I think it can fit probably up to like 6'7", 6'8". So it's gonna be great for most people. Maybe like 0.001% of the population can't use it. And for you guys, I apologize. But yeah, it's a great headrest. Moves up and down, moves in and out like this. And you can crank everything down with these knobs back here to prevent it from moving while you're sitting in it. And it swivels like this. Cushion is great. The shape of this is great to fit in that back, you know, that neck area. That Atlas is what they call it, like back here in that, you know, head bone area. So yeah, overall, great chair, Steelcase Sleep, highly recommend. Next up is the Human Scale Freedom. This thing starts at $1,400 if you go without a headrest. If you want the headrest version, it starts at $1,800. Now, Human Scale offers a 15-year warranty on their chairs. Compare that to Herman Miller and Steelcase, who offers a 12-year warranty. That 15-year warranty is solid, and I have personal experience with their customer service, and they were great. They were really, really awesome at this. The reason why the Human Scale Freedom, why I think a lot of guys picked the Human Scale Freedom as their #1 or top pick, was that this chair is just really simple, right? There aren't a ton of million knobs and gigamabobs to adjust the chair exactly to fit you, and it's not overly complicated. And I think for most people who aren't chair nerds like me, they just want to sit on a chair and just for it to work. Now, there are a couple adjustments. You can raise the backrest seat height up, which is, again, why I think it's probably a lot of taller guys liked it, and you can adjust the seat pan in and out, and you can see just how big and wide that seat pan really is, and the armrest can move up and down and kind of move a little bit. But yeah, so I think this chair feels really great. It's an underrated chair. I think Human Scale is a great company, but oftentimes they get overshadowed by like Steelcase and Herman Miller. But yeah, they make some really, really amazing products. Now, this headrest, this is gonna be a little bit tricky for you taller guys, because some of the extra tall guys found that the headrest, even when I raised the chair and the backrest all the way up, it was kind of pushing into their shoulders. So I think up to 6'4", if you're more leg than torso, you can use a headrest. If you're 6'4" and you're more torso than leg, or you're taller than 6'4", I would opt even without a headrest. Now, that might be a deal breaker for some tall guys, but something to keep in mind. And again, This came up as a continuous #1 pick, I think just because of how big and wide and airy the chair felt, and again, how simple the chair was to use. My tall mommy and daddy long legs, I've got an all mesh chair pick for you. It's the GOAT of mesh chairs, the Herman Miller Aeron. This thing starts at $1,930, so $1,930. Got a 12-year warranty from Herman Miller, and Herman Miller is one of the best chair companies in the world. I personally have experienced the warranty process from Herman Miller, and it was chef's kiss. They were really great. They were really timely. They came to my house, they fixed the chair, and something where they couldn't fix, they took it with them and came back the next day, delivered it. It was a really, really, really great process. Like seriously amazing. I also have a real Eames back there, and when I had an issue with the leather, they came in and they replaced the leathers here on site. So just again, just a really, really great process. Anyways, why is this chair here? Why did people pick this chair? I think because 2 reasons. One is aesthetics. Like aesthetics are huge when it comes to chairs. I don't think people realize how big that is, like how much people are attracted to the chair based on the way it looks, but also because I think it really has one of the best tuned mesh seats in the entire business. Like this seat feels incredible. This mesh tuning, the softness of it feels really, really great. It feels really like a great alternative to fabric chairs. And a lot of mesh chairs don't feel like that. A lot of mesh chairs just feel really tight, really firm. But this one kind of like really just like bends nicely, especially in that booty area. Feels really good. So it comes in 3 different sizes, A, B, and C. Now this is really easy. For you tall mommy, daddy, long legs, you want to get the size C. There's no doubt about it. You don't want to mess around with size B. You want to get the size C version because that's going to be the best. But keep in mind that the Aeron, one of the limitations, well, there's a couple limitations, but one of the biggest ones is that you can't shift it. Like you can't move it and adjust it to fit your body size. It's a static size, and the only adjustments you get are ones like the armrest or the tilt and the lumbar, and that's it. Really, the chair itself just kind of stays still. So size C is going to be the best bet. Now, for you taller folks, a lot of you prefer to use headrests just because you are so tall, and you can see that the backrest isn't going to support your entire back, and so sometimes having a headrest can support give you additional like upper back support without even realizing it. So you get 2 different headrest versions, not from Herman Miller. Herman Miller does not sell headrests. They don't make headrests for their chairs for the most part. And so you've got this one here. This is from a company called Atlas Headrest. You can see that it looks like almost like Herman Miller made it, right? But instead, they really took their time to get the design language right, and it's got a 1-to-1 match. The mesh here and the black plastic color here looks identical to the Herman Miller Aeron. Now, I think they make the best headrest in the business. This thing goes forward and back, up and down. You can tighten these knobs. I have it loosened right now so I can show you, but you can tighten these knobs so it does not move at all when you lean back on them. Looks really, really great. The downside is gonna be the cost. These things cost $200. You can use my coupon code down below for $5 off. I get $5, which is like not huge, but it still helps the channel a lot, so please consider using them. But yeah, I mean, this headrest is phenomenal. And you also get a second option, Atlas headrest. This is a size B, by the way. You can kind of see the size difference, I hope, on camera. This headrest here is a fabric cushion one. I personally prefer the fabric cushion because I think it's softer, more comfortable on the neck and head. So this is a cushion version that Atlas headrest also sells. The downside, though, you can see that it's not like as cool, seamless looking compared to the mesh one. The mesh one is still very comfortable, don't get me wrong, but I do prefer the softness of the cushion. Again, maybe just like I got a baby's back, I got a baby's neck too. And finally, we have the Herman Miller Embody. This is my personal favorite chair. This is, again, a top chair pick of the tall people. Over here, you have the non-gaming invariant. You can tell because it's got a smooth back, smooth seat. And over here on my right, you've got gaming invariants. You can tell the gaming variant because it's got these more ridges, the G logo here because the gaming one was done in collaboration with Logitech, and that's their G logo right there. 12-year warranty from Herman Miller. Herman Miller, again, one of the best chair companies in the world. Excellent customer service, warranty history. I've used their warranty. It was always great. And tall people love this chair. I think the reason why is because this seat and back is super unique. There is no chair on the market that I think is like it yet. That's why it's my personal favorite. It's this kind of beautiful blend between mesh and fabric, where it's using this thing called a pixelated mesh, which is like this rubber material that kind of bends and moves with you, kind of like mesh. But it's got a fabric and foam layer on top. It's pretty thin. It's not super thick. So it's pretty thin, and that's going to allow you to give that like more cushy feeling that you get from cushion chairs, fabric chairs. And so because of that, I think the seat and the backrest feel really, really, really good. Now, at your height, I am gonna recommend that you get a headrest for this, but that's gonna increase the cost significantly because the headrest is not made by Herman Miller. It's made by a third-party company. You've heard them often. It's Atlas Headrest, and these things cost about $200. Again, you can get $5 off if you use my link down below, and I only get $5 per headrest sold, which isn't a lot, but it helps the channel a lot, and I appreciate it. Yeah, this chair is phenomenal. The guys really loved it. I think they loved it because the backrest gets super tall, the seat is super wide, big, and it folds out and gets even bigger, and because of that, I think people people appreciated that. My tall guys especially appreciated that. And I think overall, it's just a really comfortable feeling chair. Now, there are a couple of caveats that you need to know, and I talk about this in all my Embody reviews, so you know that I'm not biased. Even though I love this chair, I'm not biased. I understand the flaws and the weaknesses of it. This lumbar support here, people call this thing very, very stiff, and you can't move it around. And so it's this hard plastic pad that you can feel both in the gaming and non-gaming variants, and it can dig in. You really don't know until you try it, right? And so every back is a little different. Some people say I feel it like crazy, and some people say I don't. I'm one of those who I really don't feel it all that much. I think it just depends on how your spine is shaped. The other weakness is going to be these edges up here. So these edges tend to be a little bit stiffer. And so some people, it just hits their back in a weird way where this back edge starts to dig in a little bit. This is where the headrest can actually be helpful. You can actually lower it down like this. I've had reports of guys that are like 6'4", 6'5", who've gotten a headrest, who put their headrest down like this, and it actually blocks their shoulders from hitting it, and it offers them additional upper back support. Now, between the two, I have done extensive testing, and I can say that I prefer the gaming body, and many of the people who came in also preferred the gaming body. I think it's got a little bit more cushion, it's a little bit more plush, and when you break it in, that plush like adds to just the overall comfort of the chair. The non-gaming body, some people prefer this one as well. I think personally, I think my guess to that would be that some people like the way that the non-ridges looks. It looks more seamless. Also, I think that because you don't have those ridges, like sometimes people can report that they feel some of these ridges in their back and their bottom. They don't love that, which is why some of the people pick the non-gaming variant over the gaming variant. My personal opinion, I do think the gaming body is better and more comfortable. Oh, and in case you want to know just how much I like this chair, I have another one here without a headrest. Not everybody needs a headrest. Even tall guys say that they don't like a headrest, they don't need a headrest. The chair is tuned perfectly. So yeah, got 4 of them here. I also have another one at home, but yeah. If you jumped here because of the timestamp and you didn't want to watch a long video, check out the best chairs in under 5 minutes, where I talk about the best chairs on the market in under 5 minutes. Until next time, stay honest.